For sure, them belts coming with me. They coming home with me. I'm telling you right now.
You can see it, but it's gonna be difficult. You take it to your home.
I'm taking them. And ain't nothing you gonna be able to do about it come fight night.
I know Turkey's in your corner,
I promise you.
But look, it's gonna be very difficult. He's gonna be so mad that day. Believe me.
Despite initially promising to keep things respectful, Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez quickly abandoned their vows, as their press conference erupted into a fiery exchange of trash talk. The two fighters tossed aside any mutual respect, trading insults and mocking each other just like they would with any other rival, though it's pretty clear who fired the first shot. In a showdown billed as the fight of the century.
True, yeah, of course. No, not YouTuber fight. Huh? Not YouTuber fighters. Yeah.
They need to talk and talk about the fight because they want to say something. The people know we are great fighters. We want to put a great fight. Yeah. We don't need to talk.
I am sure in the end in the mid of
Canelo Alvarez brushed off any suggestion that the bout would be closely contested. Despite Terence Crawford moving up from light, Canelo Alvarez had previously downplayed the matchup, arguing there was little for him to gain by defeating a fighter who began his career at lightweight. When pressed on how a potential loss to the two-time undisputed champion.
I see you. I see you. You see I'm different.
I see you too.
You see I'm different than all the other ones.
No, I see you. No, you don't look different. You're nothing different.
I'm different.
Nothing different.
I'm different.
We'll see.
You gonna see.
We'll
know it.
We'll see. We'll see.
Might impact his legendary legacy. The ever-composed 34-year Canelo Alvarez simply said, "He's not going to beat me, don't worry about it. He's not going to beat me. I believe this fight will go down in boxing history. He's a great fighter, but he's not Canelo. I have the experience," Alvarez said confidently at the press conference. "People only talk about my power, but I bring much more to the ring. This fight will go down as one of the best on my resume," though Alvarez, 34, is 3 years younger.
He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. I think this fight is gonna be in the books of the history of boxing for sure. That's for sure.
Younger than Crawford. He's been a pro since age 15 and boasts an astonishing record: 11 world titles, 27 world title fights, and 67 bouts in total. Yet many see him as the veteran poised to pass the torch to Canelo Alvarez. About the possibility of defeat, Alvarez coolly responded, "He's not going to beat me, don't worry about it." The comment drew a grin and a quick reply from Crawford for, "Sure, these belts are coming home." Terence Crawford boasts a resume most fighters can only dream of: 19 straight world title bouts, and the rare distinction of being a two-weight undisputed champion. Now, he's aiming to make history by becoming the first male boxer to achieve undisputed status in 3.
Canelo, what would it look like?
Come on, man. I know what I do. I ain't got to talk about it on the streets. I'm me against anybody. I ain't never gonna say another man gonna whoop me. So, you know what I mean? That's your answer right there.
I guess in Guadalajara, you think it'd be a little different on the streets if Terence came to town?
I think every city, every place is different, no? It's different. But we don't talking about the streets. We're talking about boxing, the beautiful sport of boxing. So that's different, way different than the streets.
Weight classes, giving a respectful nod to fellow Canelo Alvarez SS, who already accomplished the feat in women's boxing. Canelo, a 4-division champion who's held titles from 154 to 175 pounds, fired back, "You don't look different, nothing different." Dismissing Crawford's claims, he added, "I'm a winner. You're not special." Canelo Alvarez and are set to clash in a historic showdown that has captivated the boxing world.
However I gotta fight, I'm gonna win. Simple as that. I'm not gonna let somebody else force me or tell me how to fight when I've been fighting my whole life. You know, I won't be running. You know, I can tell you that. But I will be, you know, doing a lot of touching.
Get me wrong. He's a great fighter, like I say, he's not Canelo.
Though they come from different paths and backgrounds, both fighters have carved out legendary careers, and now they meet in what many are calling the defining fight of this era. Canelo Alvarez, Mexico, turned professional at just 15 years old. Back in 2005, with nearly 2 decades in the sport, Canelo has become one of boxing's most accomplished figures. winning titles in for weight classes from 154 to 175 pounds and building a reputation for his power.
Excited. I'm very excited, motivated, because this is all about. I want to make history, and I'm very excited for this fight. He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. I think this fight is gonna be
Composure and elite ring IQ. His resume includes victories over some of the biggest names in the sport, including Gennady Canelo Alvarez and Sergey Kovalev. After briefly facing criticism for a perceived decline, Canelo silenced doubters by regaining his undisputed 168-pound crown, reaffirming his place at the top of the super middleweight division. Canelo Alvarez, an American technician who is widely regarded as one of the most complete fighters of his generation.
Listen, however they rate me, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we got to fight, and I'm going to win the fight. As simple as that.
Can I ask you about if there's any rematch clause with this fight with Canelo?
No, it's not.
Is that something you push for?
No, I didn't.
And there's any weight restrictions to the fight at all?
No, it's
He made his pro debut in 2008 at the age of 20, and though he started 5 years later than Canelo, he quickly rose through the ranks with a style that combined speed, power, precision, and a rare ability to switch stances mid-fight. Crawford's list of accomplishments is staggering. He's had 19 consecutive world title fights, is a two-weight undisputed champion, and is now aiming to make history by becoming the first male boxer.
Fighters would like to put on a weight restriction to this type of fight. Why didn't you want to do that?
because I want him at his best. I don't want no excuses. I don't want no, reasons why, he didn't feel good or anything. I want him at his best.
To achieve undisputed status in 3 different weight classes. Speaking ahead of the bout, Crawford made it clear this is more than just another title shot, it's a personal mission. This is the fight I've always wanted Canelo Alvarez out. He's the last great fighter from that golden era that came before us Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao. He got to face them. I didn't get those mega fights. This is my mega fight. This is my moment. Crawford's last outing was...
What would you say from memory that you first thought this fight was a real possibility, that you started thinking about this fight actually happening?
Well, I started thinking about it, a couple of years ago when they started talking about Spence fighting Canelo. Then just, sizing him up, like, all right, how tall is he? How long his arms and things like that, just sizing him up like that and going to his fights and things like that.
In August, when he dismantled Israel Madrimov to claim the WBA light middleweight title, showing no signs of rust or decline, backed publicly by Saudi advisor Turki Al-Sheikh, who has been instrumental in orchestrating mega fights in the region. Crawford comes into the bout with significant support and momentum. Alvarez, calm and confident as ever, isn't buying into the Canelo Alvarez not they always talk about my power, but I've got more than that. I've got experience, and that's going to show. This fight will be one of the best of my career with so much on the line legacy.
There's a lot of experts that think Canelo's not the same fighter. His punch output's a lot less. What do you think, considering the last 12 months or so? Is he the same fighter he was maybe a few years ago?
I think he is. I just think, he just wasn't up for the skull fight. And I think, different fighters bring different, energies out of other fighters.
A lot of people are judging you on the Madrimov fight, saying you struggled moving up in weight, you're going further up in weight, and they're saying that's going to go against you based on the Madrimov fight. How do you kind of...
History and the undisputed status the world is watching as 2 of boxing's best prepare to collide. One aiming to protect his throne, the other fighting to seize his long-awaited moment. Despite initially promising to keep things respectful, Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez quickly abandoned their vows, as their press conference erupted into a fiery exchange of trash talk.
Oscar De La Hoya wasted my time with this question.
Yeah, we saw Oscar De La Hoya trying to say that the fight was going to take place maybe in the daytime.
Yeah, this is what I want from you, to say his name. I decide with Dana White to have a breakfast in MGM at 10 a.m. inshallah. Then we will go to the arena to have the fights quick.
The 2 fighters tossed aside any mutual respect, trading insults and mocking each other just like they would with any other rival, though it's pretty clear who fired the first shot. In a showdown billed as the fight of the century, Canelo Alvarez brushed off any suggestion that the bout would be closely contested, despite Terence Crawford moving up from light. Canelo Alvarez had previously downplayed the matchup.
Launch in September. You waste, Oscar De La Hoya wastes my time with this question. Of course, this is in the beak. This is the boxing, the sport #1 in the world. This is Canelo and Crawford.
Arguing there was little for him to gain by defeating a fighter who began his career at lightweight. When pressed on how a potential loss to the two-time undisputed champion